Hi guys. Welcome. How are you?
The Architect of Silence. Episode: The Price of Silence. The burner phone dilemma. Elias spent the evening alone in his sterile office. The burner number from Chloe sitting on his desk like a viper. Every instinct screamed trap. 5 years of cold fury had taught him one thing: trust nobody associated with the Thorn name. Yet, the specificity of the warning, "Don't build on 17B," was too precise to be random. It was a fact known only to the original architects and the executives who authorized the cover-up. He tried to reason through her motive. If she were loyal to Marcus, she would have gone to him immediately after the meeting, warning him of Elias's thinly veiled threats. Instead, she left a coded warning on his desk. He finally picked up his personal cell and called Leo, his trusted engineer, using an encrypted voice channel. "Elias, I need eyes on the original Azure Spire Foundation reports, Leo. Specifically, the data from the 17B quadrant. Look for remediation costs that were suddenly slashed." Her voice cautious. "The first tower? That's buried deep, Elias." "Why now?" "Elias, because the Olympus Tower is planned to sit on a similar quadrant. And someone just warned me about it. An internal source. Though Marcus's security is ironclad. You risked yourself today." "Elias, I risked nothing I wasn't already prepared to lose. Just get me the data. I need to know if the woman who helped them steal my life is now trying to help me tear theirs down." The conversation solidified his decision. He would verify the facts first, then address the messenger. The ghost of 17B. Leo's report arrived 48 hours later. It was damning. The original geotechnical analysis for the Azure Spire 17B quadrant showed a severe, unstable fault line that required deep, expensive stabilization methods. The final contract, signed by Marcus and approved by Arthur, showed the cost for stabilization slashed by 80%, replaced by a cheaper, superficial piling method. The cost-cutting measure saved the Thorn Group millions but compromised the tower's long-term integrity. The tower was a 5-year time bomb. Elias stared at the figures. Marcus hadn't just stolen his credit. He had dangerously compromised his design for profit. This wasn't just revenge anymore. It was necessary exposure. He immediately punched the numbers into his architectural modeling software. The analysis was stark. In 10 to 15 years, the Azure Spire would develop severe foundational stress fractures. The structural lie was verifiable. This confirmed two things. First, Chloe's warning was genuine. Second, the revenge plot could now pivot from mere financial sabotage to strategic exposure tied to public safety and monumental corporate fraud. The coded connection. With the information confirmed, Elias activated the burner phone. He used an encoded text service to contact the number. "Elias, text the foundation analysis matches the original. Why the risk?" The reply was immediate, clear, and desperate. "I'll text you know why. I didn't sign the severance package. I signed nothing. They took everything that night, including my voice. Marcus is building the new tower with the same shortcuts. He can't know we are talking. Elias, text meet me. Tonight. The old library cafe, midnight. Bring proof of your claim." He needed to see her. He needed to look into the eyes of the woman he loved and hated in equal measure, and determine if this was redemption or manipulation. He knew the Thorn Group had advanced surveillance capabilities. Public meeting was impossible. The old library cafe, now closed after hours, had sentimental value. It was where they had their first date, and it had a hidden service entrance only they knew about. The late-night confession. Elias arrived at the cafe first, slipping in through the dimly lit service entrance. The air inside smelled faintly of stale coffee and old paper. The silence was heavy. Chloe arrived 5 minutes later, her face pale, her movements nervous. She wore a simple trench coat that hid her work attire. She looked like a spy in her own life. Elias. You have 5 minutes, Chloe. Why did you stay after that night? Because I had to. After you left, Arthur and Marcus froze my bank accounts. All of them. They claimed I was complicit in misappropriating Ether assets. They own every marketing firm in this city. I was trapped. If I left, I would have nothing, and you would have been alone fighting them. I couldn't risk them destroying you. Elias. They destroyed me anyway. And you stood on that stage while they handed my life to my sister. I know. And I hate myself for it. But I stayed because I had access. I stayed to be a ghost in their machine. I have 5 years of documentation about their offshore restructuring, their tax fraud, and every dirty contract they've signed since you left. She opened her coat and revealed a small, encrypted thumb drive. Not a company drive, but a personal one. This is my entire life's work since you left. Every piece of ammunition you need to destroy them legally, ethically, and publicly. She pushed the drive across the counter. Marcus is finalizing the financing for Olympus next week. If the financing goes through, the company becomes too big to fail. You have to act now, Elias. The weight of the drive, cliffhanger. Elias picked up the drive. It was cold, small, and felt impossibly heavy. It contained the ultimate power, the destruction of the Thorn dynasty. But it came from the hands of the one person who broke his heart. Elias. Why now, Chloe? Why give this to me now, 5 years later? Chloe's eyes were glistening, a single tear tracking a path down her cheek. Because Marcus is moving up the timeline on the Olympus Tower. He's making the same structural cuts. He's building a coffin, Elias. I don't want to live to see another one of your designs fail. She reached out, touching his hand briefly. I betrayed you once for survival. I won't do it again. But if Marcus finds out I gave you this, he will destroy me. Before Elias could reply, the exterior lights of the street flickered, then focused directly on the cafe window. A dark sedan was slowly driving past. Elias and Chloe instinctively ducked behind the counter. Was the meeting compromised? Did Marcus follow her? Elias grips the drive, his mind racing. He has his weapon, but now he has a co-conspirator who is a massive emotional liability.
The first landmine. The trust factor. The dark sedan passed without stopping. Elias and Chloe remained crouched behind the counter for several long, tense minutes. The near exposure tightened Elias's resolve. He couldn't trust her emotionally, but he could trust her motive, fear and self-preservation. Elias secured the drive in his briefcase. You need to sever contact immediately, Chloe. No texts, no calls, no coded messages. If I need to contact you, I'll initiate via disposable prepaid burner phone only. Do you understand the risk? Chloe nodded, her face pale. I understand. I'll go back to being Marcus's shadow. I'll make sure he trusts me implicitly for the next few weeks. Elias. You're walking into a fire. I've been in it for 5 years. Now, at least I know the exit plan. They separated, slipping out through different entrances, the cold weight of the encrypted drive now resting securely against Elias's side. Back in his office, Elias immediately began analyzing the contents of the drive. It was a goldmine. Internal memos detailing illegal cost-cutting, detailed reports on Marcus's misuse of the company credit line for personal ventures, and evidence of tax fraud related to the shifting of profits through shell corporations, planting the seed of doubt. Elias wasn't interested in immediate exposure. A sudden leak would be traced straight back to him. He needed to plant a landmine, a small, insignificant financial blip that would appear to be a simple accounting error, but one that would force an internal investigation into the exact financial corners he knew Marcus had cut. His first target: the procurement budget for the Olympus Tower's initial site survey. He used the credentials Chloe had provided to subtly alter a date on a single invoice from a small, defunct consultancy firm. He changed the date from 5 years ago to the present month. The amount was negligible, only $8,000, but the age discrepancy would raise a flag in the Thorn Group's internal audit system. Elias, internal monologue, they'll assume it's a legacy accounting error, a simple data entry mistake. But to fix it, they'll have to pull up the entire historical file on the initial site preparation. And that file links directly to Marcus's unauthorized overspending. He needed a reaction. He needed Marcus to start looking in the wrong direction. The team meeting and the hidden agenda. The next day, Elias attended the Olympus Tower kickoff meeting with Marcus, Arthur, and the full team. Elias was now officially the lead structural architect, a position that gave him complete authority over the tower's digital mapping. During the meeting, Marcus, full of bluster, announced the immediate start of the foundation work. "We're going fast on this. We need the foundations poured in 6 weeks to secure our next round of financing. Time is money, people." Elias listened, his hand resting on the sleek tablet containing the Olympus Tower's complex digital model. "Elias." "Marcus, I have some concerns about the timeline," Elias interrupted, his voice calm. "My team's preliminary review of the geotechnical survey indicates that the soil in the eastern quadrant, specifically where the primary stabilization pillars are planned, shows significant historical instability. If we rush the piling, we risk catastrophic long-term stress." Marcus waved a dismissive hand. "Nonsense, Elias. That's why we hire you to solve problems, not to invent them. The survey is fine. We proceed." "Elias, with respect, if we proceed, I need to officially document my concern for liability. I will require a written directive from your office overriding my recommendation for a mandatory 3-week soil settlement period." The request forced Marcus to put his arrogance on paper. He scrawled a furious signature on the document, proving his commitment to speed over structural integrity. Elias tucked the signed document away. Another piece of leverage secured. The whistleblower cliffhanger. The minor accounting error worked faster than Elias expected. The $8,000 anomaly triggered a low-level investigation in the accounting department. That afternoon, Elias got an encrypted message from Ben, the engineer he'd contacted in episode 1, the weak link. Ben had been working late, compiling data for the audit team. "Ben, text, they found the old site prep error. The accounting team is asking questions about the cost overruns on the Azure Spire initial phase." Marcus is furious and told the audit team to focus on external fraud. Marcus was paranoid, looking outward for a financial spy when the enemy was already inside the gate, and inside his own family. "Elias, text, tell the audit team they should be looking at the accounts payable ledger. Specifically, the line items associated with consultancy fees. Offshore." Elias knew those offshore fees were the smoking gun for the tax evasion Chloe documented. He had just pointed the Thorn Group's own internal investigation team directly at Marcus's biggest illegal secret. He had started the fire. Sage. Elias closes his laptop, the office dark around him. He knows that Ben is placing his career on the line, but the fire is spreading exactly where he wants it. Now he waits for the heat to hit Marcus.